task today is that I've got a couple of the Calabrese tomato plants left over. So what I'm going to do is just put them in that compost there. I've used an ordinary compost bag instead of a grow bag. And what I intend to do is just to cut that in half and stand them up on ends and put maybe 4 in there. I'm going to try, because we need something to hold that up. So I've got a couple of shelving. It was a plastic shelving unit that we used to have when we ran a business at one time, and I've kept it and I've grown strawberries on it and all sorts. But what I'm thinking is if we can make some kind of a, I don't know, like a container thing to go in. It's just so it holds the compost steady and upright instead of falling down. So my thought is, measuring it, we need it about 6 inches wide. So just to measure it up there, if I can make those just about 6 inches and cut those lengths of the round tubing, and then we might be alright. Okay. Now, as you can see, I've got 4 of those pieces of pipe, roughly the same size. It doesn't have to be completely accurate. It's not for this job, not in the garden. So now I'm going to put those and fix them. Now we've got that fitted together. So I've sawn off the lengths as you saw, and now fitted those into the what was the shelving, and put in what we would call self-tapping screws. So you drill one hole, and then all you need to do is just put a self-tapping screw in there, and that should fix it because it doesn't have any weight to it. It's just to stop it falling apart, that's all. So I'm going to do that to this one and then turn it around and then do the same to the other side. And here we are. We've got the container done there. All I'm going to do now is drill a couple of holes in there and screw that to the raised bed. Just thought on a couple of things. The screws that I use there, I mean, you can buy those from the DIY store, but my old dad used to say he used to collect any screws, so I've got a small selection of small screws there that would come from different things that I've taken out or dismantled in the past. My dad used to have containers full of the things, but so yeah, don't be too careful with matching screws and stuff like that. It's just in the garden. Nobody's going to come and judge you on it. Now you can see that's all in there and it's not going to go anywhere. I've just put 2 screws into the raised bed there, so that should hold that. Now I'm going to just cut the bag of compost in half. So what I've done is plump that bag up, just shook it around a bit just to loosen the compost in there. And now I'm going to just split it in half. Now as you can see, that's split in half as it were, and now I've got to cut it. Now I've got 2 halves, as you see there, just by simply cutting it with a pair of scissors. So I've got 2 pieces, and now they're going to go in the container I've just made. Now I'm quite pleased with that. That seems to have gone in that container thing quite nicely. Held them up, so all I need to do now is put some tomato plants in there really, and away we go. Then after I've put them in, once they've taken, I can put some support on there, whether I put canes in there or screw something again to the raised bed, I don't know yet. We'll see how we go and what room we've got. These tomatoes are what they call Calabrese, and they are beefsteak tomatoes. We grew them last year, and these are from seed that I saved from last year's crop. And so some of these have come up double. Quite difficult to keep the seeds apart sometimes, but they should be alright, coming up as kind of twins. So that's what I'm going to put in, and we're going to put 4 of those in there. There we are, Calabrese in, and as I say, let them get settled in, and then we'll give them some support once they start growing up. I would think these ones have been in the pots a little while, so they'll be desperate to get in that kind of soil. So the next part really is to water them in, and that'll be that. The other ones that I've got on this bed, they're Calabrese. They've been in a week, so they should look a bit like that in a week's time, hopefully.